So you've been doing the work with trees for 47
Plants, yes.
47 years. What made you start working with trees?
My grandmother. First, it was my teacher, Mrs. Williams. She was my elementary school teacher.
Yeah.
And I was studying in a small primary school in Pune, in Spices. It was a 7-day Adventist school. I was studying there. My father was posted in the military hospital there. And for 3 years, I studied in that school. And that teacher, she was born and brought up in the Jaffna forest in Sri Lanka. So she came on a deputation to, she was a missionary teacher, so she came there and she was teaching us. And the methodology, you know, the way she taught us, that was so beautiful. And she was always talking about trees and animals and birds and reptiles and water, mountains, and you know, there were no books. She used to make us write, and a lot of creative writing and blah blah blah, you know, and very progressive teacher, I would say. She impacted a lot, and she created that first, you know, foundation for understanding nature. I would say love for nature, that nobody can create that for you. That has to come from within.
Exactly.
But understanding of nature, how the monsoons work, how the rain cycle works. So we were on the foothills of the Western Ghats. So you know, she would take. We had those matadors on rent, and you know, she would bump us in, and then she would take us to the Western Ghats, Lonavala, Khandala, Kalyan. You know, she would take us to Mumbai. She would show us the ocean. She would show the various rivers, and you know, how the ecosystems work, and she would talk. We didn't know what she was talking about, but okay, fine. But the foundation was being laid. And then what happened? Then my father, because he was moving throughout the country for his army work, my grandmother came to live with us to support my mother, you know, and she was a very wild woman. You know? She came from a village, you know.
Wow.
And she was nothing normal. She was always with a sickle and a shovel, and always gardening and kitchen gardening, growing vegetables, talking about earthworms and hibiscus, and talking about butterflies, and talking about trees, and talking about flowers, and talking. So here was another, you know, one citizen comes into our life, and totally there's no mannerisms, no etiquettes, you know, eating with the hands, and you know, not using the soap, taking the soil, rubbing it, washing it under water.
Wow.
She had solution for everything.
Yeah.
You know, today we call it nature-based solutions. The big name, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a living example. It was an encyclopedia of plants and grasses and vegetables and so on. And so she stayed with us for a very long time. And well, the whole package was so good that it happened.
You continued.
And then she was the person. In January 1977, she asked me to start planting saplings.
Wow.
And the only reason was, see, at that time there was none of this vocabulary of global warming, climate change, climate warrior, climate mitigation, oceans rising, traffic jams, and fossil fuels. There was not, the language didn't exist. You know, everything was nice, everything was okay, everything was fine with the world. She only said, create more shade so that people can rest under the shade. Create more canopy so that the birds have shelter.
Wow.
Plant more keystone species like peepal, because they are water harvesting machines. You know, so she had her own reasons. It had nothing to do with climate, nothing to do with SDG goals, nothing to do with sustainability. That vocabulary did not exist. It was very simple, you know. So she would call roadside gardening. All the gardening should not be just for yourself. You know, there is something called community gardening also. So, when you plant along the roadsides, avenue plantations, open roads, community lands, small ponds, lakes, this, that, it will help wildlife, it will help the birds,